Welcome to Crack and Code, the board game channel where every video is 10 minutes or less guaranteed, and today we're asking the question, should you back Arborea from Alley Cat Games? This is a series we do over here on this channel. Whenever a campaign crosses 2,000 backers, we break it down into a 100-point scale, 10 categories, 10 points each, to determine whether or not it is a safe and responsible back, whether or not it seems like a exclusive or high-value game, whether or not the reviews are positive or it hasn't even gone out for people to take a look at, and whether or not you're going to get your game on time. We ask all the important questions, and I'm on this video because I am personally currently backing Arborea based off the artwork alone. And I am concerned because I have so far had two campaigns because of this series that we have started that I have dropped my pledge on.
Right.
Which means, West, as you break this down, I'll be asking myself the question. Yeah. Should I continue to back this? West, you've done all the research here. So,
That's right.
Do you want to give a quick overview of what this game is, and then we'll get started?
Absolutely. Now, the main thing about this is all about the publisher and all that information. It's not necessarily about whether the game is good or not. That should be a choice that you make on your own. But Arborea is basically a worker placement Euro-style game brought to you by Alley Cat Games. This has some very unique artwork, very interesting concepts. Lots of reviewers seem to have thought that the game is quite good.
It has some unique features like sliding worker placement locations, a shared pool of resources. It's compared a lot, or compared very specifically and directly, to a game called like Bitoku. So if you enjoy these more abstract, colorful, vibrant Euro games, you might be interested. Like I am. I'm already here.
There we go.
All right, now.
So, getting down to the nitty-gritty, the first thing that we talk about is the publisher themselves. So, Alley Cat Games, what have they done? What are they? They've produced about 18 games at this point. They do have one game on GameFound as well, so that gives them 19.
Some popular titles like Tinner's Trail, right?
Yeah, Tinner's Trail. Some good stuff. They also have Amun-Ra on GameFound, which was a Rainer Knizia game. So they've done a good job. They've delivered all of their campaigns, though they do still have 2 campaigns outstanding. So keeping that in mind, they've also stated that funds were a little tight and that they would like to hire one other person, but they've publicly stated they don't have the funds to be able to do that.
Okay.
So because of that, and they do have one campaign that was, I believe, underfunded because they only had like 800 people go through that particular one. We did knock them a little bit and give them a 6. Now, they have delivered in the past.
The one campaign that you're theorizing was underfunded is the one that is over a year outstanding at this point.
It will be likely a year, yeah. So it's supposed to deliver in September, and it has yet to be printed. So they're still a ways away on that one. So give them a 6. I think it's a fair concept there. Designer. Now, this is a first game from this particular designer, Danny Garcia, who recently joined their team. Was a video game person and now is doing board games with a Euro focus. But again, it is still under Alley Cat Games. Almost all of their games on BGG have 7 points or higher. So I have no doubt that they will make sure that this is a very good game before it goes out, and should stay within that same concept of the things that they've done very well over the years. Now, it is slightly outside of some of the stuff that they've done in the past, but I do think overall they'll do well. But this is a brand new designer, so because of that, we have to give them a 6, because it is someone that is untested in the market. Reviews. So they have quite a few reviews here. They have over 6 different reviews. They have Broken Token.
Lotto's on here.
Yep.
2 Sheep, 1 Wheat, I think. Might be wrong about that.
I don't think that one's on there. But they also have quite a few good quotes throughout, and they're not just silly quotes.
This is a Bitoku killer.
That's a pretty strong quote.
It's a very aggressive quote.
So because of that, we do give them an 8, because that is a very solid score for having lots of good reviewers on it.
We're not one of the reviewers on here.
Which is fine. Yeah. We don't have to be. The key is that there's enough reviewers on there for it to be a good, and that they have good quality quotes.
Yeah.
As far as retail goes, we're going to production quality. So in the past, they've done a fantastic job with production quality. They've never had any major issues there. There are a few times where things are missing for here or there, which happens in a lot of situations, but nobody's complaining about the components aren't good or the quality's not good. They do a lot of wooden screen printed meeples and stuff in the past, so I think overall you're going to have a good game here, which gives them a solid score of 8 for production quality. Exclusives. Now, there are some exclusives in this. So there's screen printed meeples, deluxification of components. And there's also one piece that is an expansion.
Yeah, right here. The Midnight River expansion is going to be new actions and rewards. That's the only Kickstarter exclusive game element.
Correct. That is the only game element that's Kickstarter exclusive. So while there are deluxification components that are exclusive to Kickstarter, they're not necessarily game mechanic components.
And the game itself
will definitely go to retail.
Okay.
So because of that, they do have some exclusives. They do have a game part component that's exclusive. So we gave them an 8 there because there are exclusives. But when the next category is retail, and they're 100% going to be going to retail, which is the way that Alley Cat does things
They
generally.
sort of design their games both with retail in mind in a way.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And because of that, we're going to give them a 5 because we know that this probably will go to retail based around everything else that they've done in the past. So there will be a retail version available. It just won't have the deluxifications or the expansion.
And the Kickstarter version seems like it'll be available in 3 different locations.
Yes.
From their web store.
Correct.
From conventions where they are at, limited supply potentially, and from retail stores that are backing this, which, because of Alley Cat's reputation in games that are successful like Tinner's Trail that made it to retail as well, I would imagine there's probably a healthy market of game stores that are putting in a pledge for at least a few of these.
I would imagine as well,
Okay.
yeah. Now, as far as savings go, now they do have something on their website that is their savings price guarantee, which basically says that if you're going to purchase a Kickstarter version
Right here.
later...
The lowest possible price guaranteed for a Berea, including shipping. Kickstarter edition will be available directly from Alley Cat Games' website and the conventions at a higher price. That's what they're promising.
Correct. So that way, in theory, everything will showcase and you will only be able to buy it at a higher price at those particular locations, including shipping in theory. But
that hasn't, I don't know if they had that agreement for something like Tinner's Trail, but that hasn't been the case for something like Tinner's Trail.
Correct. Yeah, so this may be something relatively new. It is in their frequently asked questions section as well. So, taking all of that under consideration, we're giving them savings at a 5 because I feel like you're still going to be able to get the retail version. You're going to get the majority of the game mechanics except for that one expansion. You just won't have the deluxified components. And I'm being nice giving it a 5 because if you can get 99% of the game at a retail price at a lesser cost than the deluxified components, that's up to you.
Well, and not only that, but you might be able to get your hands on this from their website specifically at $10 more? $15 more? Like, there's no direct layout of what the price difference is.
Correct.
It might be $5.
And how much is that $5 going to be worth a year later when it actually delivers to you? That's the real question.
And you have
to
reviews
ask.
in and stuff. So
Exactly.
I would have liked to see a more direct number. Like, this will be, you're saving $24.
Yeah, there's no MSRP specifically showing a slash with savings, which is what we usually like to see on these types of campaigns.
Yeah.
Now, as far as production schedule goes, which is the next major thing, it is a 10-month window there. They're saying that it's going to be due in October because they have had some slowdowns on previous campaigns, but they have delivered in 10 months in other campaigns. So because of that, I still think that this is going to be a year campaign at best. So probably looking at spring of next year for delivery timeframes. So because they're saying less than that, and they've shown that in the past they're at least a month to 2 months, sometimes significantly more than that, I'm going to give them a solid 6 on this. We know what's going to happen. It's just a matter of it's not going to be on that time
It's
frame.
definitely not delivering early.
Correct.
It might deliver when they're saying it will probably be after.
So will it hold its value? This is a difficult question because overall this is going to retail. So when it first comes out, if it does amazing, it might hold its value. But overall, historically speaking, it will not hold its full value. It will still hold some value. And because of that, we have to give it a 4.
And over here in the States, they're doing things like including VAT into the total price of it, which
Correct.
does change the actual valuation of the game. If you're buying it from a location here that didn't pay that extra tax, you might be saving some money later on anyway.
Yep. Now, as far as price goes, it's not the price of the actual product, which is the final category we have. It's price in the Pledge Manager. Are they going to be asking you, hey, here's a plushie and here's all this other stuff that you can add in, and your $10 pledge or $50 pledge becomes a $150 pledge? Historically, they've offered their catalog available. They're going to make a smaller version of that this time because it does slow down the delivery process. So because of that and the fact that they haven't historically added a whole bunch of extra things into the Pledge Manager, we're giving them a solid 8. So I think it's an overall good thing when that comes. Now, the total score for this is going to be a 64, which is a very respectable score. Anything from 60 to 70 is a good back if you feel like the game is something that works worthwhile for you. There's a hesitation in there, but overall, it's still a safe.
If you're really excited about the game, this is a good way to make sure that you have it on order, that you're going to remember it, that it's going to show up.
Exactly.
The hard part for me is, should I continue backing it based off art alone? And that's why we asked the question. Should you back it?